What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy Collins.
I'm Matt MATJ.
And this is Magician.
And the Jock.
Guys, what's happening? We are in studio here today. We throwback to just us, man. This has been a while.
Well, I had a couple people reach out and said, dude, you guys got to get young Jock back on.
And
he just
we
comes
did.
in with some quick hitters, just lays the hammer down. So we got my younger brother, Chris Dodge, young Jock.
Young Jock.
More people call him young Jock. No one's ever called me Jock. They just, now I'm Doge. But Chris, welcome to the studio, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Looking good.
Yeah, man. Pull that mic over there. Man, pull that thing close. We got to let your wisdom just going to ooze out of that body.
But don't say much.
But we got an interesting talk today. Billy,
actually,
you and I talk all the time. Chris, we talk. I mean, I come in and say, dude, let me draw something on your whiteboard. So I think today's going to be good.
So I think it all spawned from the conversation we had yesterday morning when I was talking about revamping, because we're going to do a few upgrades to the channel, some things that we want to progress on. And we're talking about the business, and I said, I want to start. And then your response in all bold caps was, dude, you've already started.
You already are. Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't dawn on me until you actually sent that. And like, shit, we are.
Yeah, so what he's saying, and this is something I've struggled with, is this concept of success, of achieving more, of having some ideal self. You know, if you're in, this is why innovation happens, right? We can envision things bigger than what we already have. But the problem is, for a lot of times, success is just out of reach. You know, it's in the future. Zig Ziglar used to say, there's a lot of people living on someday Isle, you know, and it always remains in the future. It's like at the end of I've drawn this. It doesn't look like a pool stick, but I was thinking back when we were at Taps and Tackles, and it's like a pool stick, and you got a balloon on the end of it that represents success. And it's like, man, I can see it. Like, I'm about to replace gonna be with about to be. You know, that's how serious it's gonna be. Yeah. But the faster I run at it, it stays on the end there. I don't know if you guys have had that experience, or, you know, maybe we describe it as like being in a rut, or why isn't anything happen? When is the future going to be now? You know?
Yeah, I get it all the time where I just feel like it's right there. Mm-hmm. Like it's just out of finger lengths.
Whether it's 5 feet or 100 feet, it's always away from you. There's a distance. Yeah. I mean, Chris, you're younger than I am, but we are in the same industry, and it's almost like a light bulb has gone off the last couple of years where, you know, you're like on a rocket ship. So, I mean, what's kind of changed?
Yeah, well, I think probably originally was... What's going on?
Pull that just a little bit closer. Yeah. Sorry.
I'll scoot up. Yeah, so I think originally it was, I guess, when first moved up there, not licensed, not anything, and then...
Up to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yep. And then with... you know, Medicare and just doing all that stuff. The very first time I ever even spoke about it was the firm put some money into a seminar. Yeah. And I didn't even know all the rules. Like, you know, like as far as the life experience, like actually meeting with people.
3,000 rules. So, I mean, there's not that many.
Yeah, not too many. But yeah, I remember getting into an argument with a guy when we first started that seminar, and then Chris Langell had to step in, and he was, you know, talking about it. But, you know, we're talking to, you know, pretty important people, and you're just put their expectations so much higher than what it actually is. Yeah. And you're like, why would they listen to me? I'm not Medicare age. Yeah, I should
be asking them for advice.
Like, I couldn't grow a full beard. Right. And now we can. Yeah. But
makeup.
That's right.
So maybe that was it, growing a full beard.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of that understanding of, you know, not graduating college and thinking that was going to get held against me really bad. It didn't matter what I said. Like, I could have said everything right, but in my head,
deep down,
I'm like,
no, I don't have a college degree.
Yeah. And then I realized people asked where you went to college, not where you graduated from.
Right.
So, you know,
that's right.
Kind of changed DC.
Yeah, it took a while of just figuring out, you know, as far as with college, knowing that the reason I stopped was because I stopped.
Yeah.
Not because didn't want to go with that. But college was the first hurdle of why would they listen to me, you know?
So what's changed over the last couple? Because it's not like last year suddenly you realize you didn't go to college, but it's a lot of it's confidence breeds confidence. I mean, the more you do anything, you're going to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think it was understanding what in job specific terms, it would be understanding what my role is.
Yeah.
And understanding I'm a valuable part of that role.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, this is where I can step in and.
Yeah, and it's also the recognition from the people that you help. You know, it's the thank you cards,
the
it's
feedback,
it's the referrals mainly.
Yeah,
because that's the greatest compliment you can get. So I would say
you talk about that too. Yeah. You love having when people come up and that's enough fuel to keep you going. That's better than. There's all kinds of like financial incentives with insurance companies. You know, you win a cruise ship if you sell on a blah blah blah. But if one person goes up and says, "Man, Chris, dude, how you explained it, you made it so simple. I finally slept last night because I've been so worried about this." And you're like, "Holy shit. I had no idea I could impact that much for something so simple, maybe."
Yeah, something you look at something
so
simple every day that you deal with. Yeah, I realize this is the first time they're dealing with that.
Right.
You know, and I know this is real insurance specific, but it's whatever job.
It's true with whatever. Yeah, yeah. What were we going to say?
Well, I was just, to second that, we had the talk last night about validation, and we didn't have the best week in numbers, and I kind of get down about that because I'm the numbers guy, but it got validated with your class reunion.
10-year, baby.
We did the 10-year reunion. Chris, by the way, graduated when he was 14, so.
Yeah, that's right.
But with that being said, I had so many people coming up to me that I didn't even know. Say, "Oh my God, hey Billy." Mm-hmm. I know who. Maybe I thought maybe they saw me from the bar or Magic or something, but it was from the channel. Mm-hmm. They were like, "Yeah."
It's amazing to get recognized for what you want to be recognized at.
Exactly.
Like what you find value in, and others do. You're like, "Oh my God, my life's in order." Forever I was recognized for football, which is cool. But
at that moment, I felt, okay, we're doing something right. We're I'm doing it right.
Breaking through the noise a little bit.
Yeah, it's that outside source.
Yeah.
Like, it's not someone you've marketed to. It's not anything like that.
Yeah.
It's not. They don't have you on their page just regular, so it's through, different episodes with people that we knew or just, whatever, and they're coming up and knowing you.
Yeah, so that kind of bridged that gap that I needed, and that
it fuels.
Not to be
it's
a
like
therapy,
but
it's
like I want.
It fuels the fire. Yeah,
that felt really good. I'm going to keep doing that. It's like getting complimented. Man, you're looking really in shape. You think it's going to be hard to go work out that next day? And like, hell no. Like, I get it. So, I think what we want to talk about today is success is something that for a lot of people it's like I'm chasing success. But what the hell happens when you chase something?
It keeps running.
It runs away.
Yeah.
Like, almost and. What I've realized just by looking at my own life, you've looked at your own life, Chris has looked at when we get introspective and you look at people who are crazy successful, just how do they carry themselves, right? They embody that success. And then I read a quote, I've read it a million times, but it's like when you watch Forrest Gump again, you're like, damn, I didn't notice that part, That's what she meant when Dad's on vacation, But it is... In life, you don't get what you want. You get what you are.
Right.
One more time.
In life, you don't get what you want. You get what you are. Mm-hmm. Right? So if I want to change what I want, if I want to change what I'm getting right now, I need to change who I am. If that makes sense. The world is kind of a mirror.
I think we've said it's almost like a glorified fake it till you make it. Mm-hmm. Right? It's almost like... I want this, and right. I got to embody this.
Yeah, by saying I want something, you're admitting you don't have it.
Right. Yeah. So instead of saying want, say I am this.
Yeah, and that's biblical. Bible says the weak say I am strong. It doesn't say may the weak say I work out for a while and maybe I'll be strong. It's
that'd be a terrible song.
Yeah, right.
Sounds like a horrible song.
Yeah. We got auto-tune already.
Yeah,
we do.
I don't think that would help.
So yeah, so it's fake it till you make it. But when you say fake it till you make it, your own mind just is like, ugh.
I've never been able to do that.
It does give it that icky type.
It's like it gets like a costume jewelry vibe.
Well, because it's still fake. You're not that.
Right. You're being inauthentic when in the reality is you embody it in the meantime, right? Like, okay, I want to have $20 million. Okay, that's a desire. By me saying I want it, I'm admitting I don't have it. Newsflash. Sorry, ladies. But to get it, I can almost begin with the end in mind. Look at, all right, I'm envisioning a Matt that has $20 million in the bank. How would he act? Right? How would he feel?
How would he carry himself?
What would his emotions be like? When he looks at a yacht, how would he react to it? You know?
It's not big enough.
Yeah, that's right. or it's like you don't really desire it. You don't, because why? Because you could have it anytime. You already have it, right? Yeah. When people say, I can't believe that billionaire spent $50 million on a yacht. And I look at him, I'm like, hey, when you go to the gas station, you buy a pack of gum. How much do you think about it? Well, none. That's the same way he looks at that yacht.
Yeah, because
that's what it is, a calm confidence. Yeah. And that's not really fake it till you make it because you're embodying it today. Chris, you did this with sports. You know, you weren't like, I'll be a winner in the random chance we win. You know, it's like, no, I'm the leader of this team. If I'm not leading from the front, nobody is. And you carry yourself that way. It's not work, it's flow.
So I do that when I do shows. I have a time period where I sit behind the curtain where the curtain doesn't open.
Yeah.
And I visually see people laughing at a certain joke that I say, or their mouths dropping when I do a trick or something. I can visually see it. And I don't think I really understood what it was until we had a conversation.
We all do it.
Manifesting what the outcome should be.
Yeah, and it takes away the angst.
And it identifies if you actually want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember, practicing punting with you a bunch. But when I was practicing punting, I was thinking about making a tackle, which is not what a punter should identify as. You should think,
I'm like, point your toe.
I'm thinking like, I'm thinking about maybe I'll get to make a tackle and play another position.
This is a means to an end.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that's not what a punter should think, so I'm not going to punt.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you might as well just run out and go out for linebacker, you know, because that's what you're visualizing yourself doing. It's crazy. You become it today. If you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always gotten, right? So if I've got this thought of like, this is the mountain of a man I'm going to be in the future, he's always going to live in the future. The only thing that can matters is right now. What did God when Moses asked God, what do we say who you are? What do you say? I am that I am. He was not, I will be that I will be, or I used to be that I used to be. Problem is, I'm a former professional athlete, future mega millionaire influencer, which means I'm fucking regretting the past and I'm anticipating the future and I'm a nutcase in the present, if that's my mindset. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, that's
I think that's pretty accurate.
The mega millionaire or the nutcase?
The nutcase.
Yeah.
The nutcase. Yeah, because we talked about that earlier. Is that gap in between? It's like I brought up. Okay, I can visually see it. Now the hard part is to get there, and you're like, it's not the hard part. It's just the journey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
because we're giving too much value to the destination, and that's what. How many people have said, "Oh, I put my head down and I chased this forever, and then when I got it, it wasn't fulfilling." You know what I mean? Because they completely, it was ends justify the means. I'll do whatever. And then you get it and you're like, oh my God.
You know, when you say that, the thing that pops in my head right off the bat is
Young Jock.
Young Jock. It's when Forrest Gump is running.
Yeah.
And then he runs and he's like, and he stops and all these people are following him. And then he goes, I'm done.
I'm tired. I think I'll go home now.
Yeah. It's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
That was it. And that's what people said. Okay, well, what now?
Well, Forrest was good, but all his followers were like, he was just running because he's a runner. And then when he was done with it, he was done with it. But, Chris, I mean, how do you tide yourself over? Because you're ambitious, even though you're not have as flowery of language as I have, where I'm just constantly in my own head. How do you keep yourself pumped in the the now.
I guess it's coming to the realization that what you do every day is what you need to do. You know, so, I mean, I had this conversation with some friends, but just a simple thing of I guess as far as raising your mentality, you know, so you can be who you are. Mm-hmm. Well, I was like, well, who I am wakes up earlier than I currently wake up. So wake up earlier.
Yeah.
You know, give a head start to your day. So I know.
Your new self was like, hey, you sleeping in is not going to, this is incongruent.
Yeah. And, you know, I used to always just think like, all right, well, it doesn't matter when you wake up in the sense, now granted, I never really woke up late, but I didn't force myself to wake up early either. You know, and I'm not a morning person. So I just know getting in early and getting that out of the way, that's what someone who's successful does. You know, so that's, I guess, just without even thinking about it too much, just became more successful because I have a head start every single day versus the guy, you know, a couple years ago.
Right.
Now, have you practiced that yet? I mean, are you...
Dude, alarm clocks.
You've been doing it.
They are good. You have to change up your alarm clock tune as well. Mm-hmm. You know, otherwise you just sleep right through.
I like to think of it as an opportunity clock.
No, but, you know, people work out early in the morning. I'm not a early workout guy. So I'm an afternoon workout guy. So I guess it's identifying how I was the most successful every day. Mm-hmm. Knowing that, I mean, just I guess proof is in every sport we've played and everything we've done growing up. There are things you do every day. So
it's compound effect.
Yeah, it's just in the future. It's not an accident that you're there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an accident that this period or this open enrollment period has been the most successful because last open enrollment period, I said throughout the entire year, I'm going to plan for this. Mm-hmm. You know,
you probably started seeing it.
I started
the off season.
I started setting appointments for October and January.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you know, and there's no coincidence. There's not a free time right now. You know, so it's just it. But then you still have to do it. You know, so you still have to wake up early. You still
this is what we play for.
I'm feeling like, I'm walking through the tunnel right now. You got me hyped up again.
Yeah. Let's go.
I was feeling a little down, you know, after this. Not down, but just mentally drained. And now we're ready.
Yeah.
So now we're ready to do another day.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Billy, what do you think?
So, well, I was going to ask Chris, when you get into that mindset of getting up early, and do you find yourself getting on a roll easier? Like you just get it. And when we'll probably talk about this, but getting into a roll means you do something so passionately, you're into it that you suspend all time and everything just, you can start and then you think it's 30 minutes, but in reality it's been 4
I don't
hours.
even think about it.
Yeah, it just happens.
It is what it is, man. You do what you got to do. You know, but the act of waking up early, that only took about a day or two to like reset your cycle, you know? But now that is what you do, and you just continue doing it. You know, now granted,
it's just who you are. You don't have to think about it anymore.
Right? Yeah. Now I'm not saying I'm waking up at 5 or nothing.
Right.
You know, but I'm waking up and getting here before.
It's not 10.
It's before people are calling, so that's early enough. Like I'm not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so what I've done, started last night was we had talked about a certain goal, we talked about just be that goal. So I said that goal over and over and over before I went to bed. Mm-hmm. And then when I woke up this morning, it's like a light switch came on. I was like, I just felt refreshed, like out of that deep, dark, crappy place.
Yeah, well, when you go to sleep, you turn your conscious mind off. It's 100% your subconscious, right? Thomas Edison, I believe, said never go to bed without giving your brain instructions, right? And that's why people say never go to bed angry. Never fall asleep in that feeling discouraged, because if you go to bed feeling really discouraged, it's not like you wake up the next morning like, let's do it. It's you have a hangover from that discouragement. And, you know, the problem with setting a goal for a lot of us, you know, I don't know if it's just me, but when I try to visualize that goal, it's almost like I'm eavesdropping. I'm like an onlooker, right? I don't see myself in it. I'm looking at someone who looks a lot like me, but it's not me. I'm watching him.
Yeah, so you're reading about you. You're watching you.
Yeah, I'm like, and I can't, and I'm having a hard time internalizing it, right? I'm having a hard time like embodying it, and it feels even further away. And maybe I see Chris doing that, go, oh, that makes perfect sense. And, I'm encouraging. I feel great for Chris, but it's like for myself, So that's the thing. If success was assured, if success was assured, what would you do?
Yeah.
Right? If it's like, hey, look, dude, it is set in stone. Your future it's set in stone. Now just go be. That's a very freeing place to be, and it takes off that sense of lack.
Yeah.
Because right when I say want, it screams lack. I want this because I don't have it, and that makes it like I'm really discontent with what I got.
Does that go for saying when you say I want a donut? Is that the same thing?
No. Well.
No, because he
difference is if you want a donut, you can crave a donut, but at any time you can go get one.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not out of your reach.
Right.
I want a yacht. Oh man, I can't afford a yacht. Who am I to think I could ever afford a yacht? And then you start talking shit about people that buy yachts. Why would anyone spend that much money on a yacht? And people wonder why they can never buy a yacht.
Dude, I think we were just talking about this the other day, right? When you came into the office, and it was how I knew, like, kind of whatever it is with what you're talking about, was I was going on a little walk with the rucksack. You put weight in the book bag kind of deal.
Yeah.
And there were these new lots that opened up, and they're on the water. In the past, in my head, I'm not even looking that up because I know I can't afford it. And now I looked them up because it's just not yet. But I'm just like, well, just curious, what is that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It didn't intimidate you.
No.
And you didn't have this.
Because that's going...
Somebody's going to enjoy that. I'm so glad for them. And you could be coming from an actual place of humility and saying that, but it's always out of reach for you. But now that's...
Yeah, and it just took, okay, this is where I want to be. Success is what it is.
It's assured.
But success is also daily. Successful days. You have enough successful days. That's a successful month.
It's minutely.
Yeah,
right now is the only time that matters.
Minutely.
So instead,
don't look that up.
So I like what Chris said about not yet. So instead of saying, "Man, I want that boat," just saying, "Man, not yet."
It's a calm confidence.
Yeah, it's more like, "Ooh, I want that boat."
Man, I'm gonna get that boat.
All right, yeah. But obviously, that's not right now. But I know enough successful days, or is a successful week, successful month, successful years.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing it. And that's why daily, it makes it easier to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's knowing where I want to be, but I have to work backwards. Otherwise, I can't get there.
Yeah, you have to. We talked about this earlier on the phone. It's like reverse engineering. You have the goal in mind. Now you have to, we talked about the assembly line. We start here. Now, how do we get there? Mm-hmm. We have to break it down and get to that point.
Yeah, those are the hows, and that's what the Bible talks about. God works in mysterious ways, right? But it also says God calls things that are unseen and makes them seen, right? So in our imagination, you can call something that's unseen. Everything in this room right now was once unseen. Everything in the world is unseen at some point, and somebody saw it, and now it is fact around the world, right? It no longer takes faith to believe in a chair, because I see it with my senses. What takes faith is belief in something you can't see, right? And belief so deeply that it's fact, right? Now that means the world outside that doesn't support that, that's wrong. I'm denying my senses when I'm awake because I've convinced myself so much. Why else would the Wright brothers be willing to do that if they were just doing it by chance? I hope this works out. No, they had convinced themselves.
In their heads, they saw it.
And to them, everyone else was nuts. Right? I read a quote that smart people seem like crazy people to dumb people. So I don't want to say dumb, but ignorant. Right? I'm ignorant to your vision, but it's also why the Bible talks about when you're praying to go into a small room and lock the door, right? You're not posting that stuff out to say, hey, I'm a mega millionaire, even if that's how you view yourself. When I'm looking at it, I'm looking for the evidence, right? Because I can't go inside your mind.
Right.
And I'm going to call bullshit.
And like you said earlier, with some of our friends that are pretty well off, they don't have to.
Dude, they don't ever talk about it.
They don't say a word about it.
I mean,
when they do, it's funny though.
It's nonchalant.
Yeah, because it's not like normal. It's like, all right, yeah, you get to hear it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but as far as seeing things into, I guess, what is it? You are what you are, kind of deal.
Get what you are, yeah.
You get what you are. It's also like once things are established that, okay, this is, think about the Wright brothers. All of humanity up to then couldn't fly. Now we're in space. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and that's a very short time period.
Yeah.
From leading up to humanity to the Wright brothers.
Yeah.
So it's like once that thing was realized, that the idea of flight was something that could be. Now look where flight is. Mm-hmm. It inspired a bunch of other people to do great things.
The same thing, like Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile. Like, holy shit, it's possible? Yeah. Now suddenly people could sincerely see themselves doing it, or breaking 80 on the golf course.
Or, now there's high schoolers who are faster than 10 seconds in a 100-meter dash, or they're insane. Right there.
And it's not crazy for you to say, hey, I'm going to break the 4-minute mile. Mm-hmm. It's still like, that'd be amazing, but I'm not saying
but it's never,
that's physically impossible. That can't be done. It's like, here's 10,000 people who've done it. Mm-hmm. So the facts in your mind, this is what innovators do, right? We were created by a creator to create. This is how you create.
When you said that the other day, it kind of, not that it gave me goosebumps. It was kind of like, oh. Levi's got a ride.
It wasn't goosebumps, it was one bump.
I created something. But yeah, I mean, I've always wondered that. When we hear creative, we think people that can write, or the Picassos, the Beethovens, the ones like that. But no. I think it was Steve Jobs talking about it's really creative to take something complex and simplify it so people can see it, and understand it. He's like, that takes the most creativity in the world. So, but we are all creative, right? Mm-hmm. And all that create is you call something that's unseen, which if you're not where you want to be, calling success is unseen. In the physical world, you're calling it unseen, believing it as if it was seen, and then it's like, I'm waiting to take delivery. A great way to think of this, because we're talking about the time between I set this goal, I see myself accomplishing this goal, whatever, and it coming to fruition in the real world so we can enjoy the fruits of that goal. Well, first of all, there's no rule that says you have to hit that goal to enjoy it. There's a lot of people that say, I'm going to live like a damn monk before I get this. And once I get this, then I'll get the car, do whatever, right? There's no rule against that. But once you have a thought in your mind, right, a vision, your imagination has creative power. So you see yourself doing something bigger than what you're doing, right? Visioning yourself hoisting the Lombardi trophy or whatever. Once that's created in there, it's a thing, right? It's something. It's not. A lot of us wait till it happens in the real world to cement it, but that thought has already happened.
Almost becomes tangible.
It's been conceived in your imagination, just like your wife, hopefully, conceives when she gets pregnant, right? So I believe life starts at conception, right? She's pregnant. You can't just be kind of pregnant. I'm 50% pregnant. Let me try again tomorrow and get her 100% pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes, she's pregnant. Now, what does she do? She's just a dutiful mother that just does her stuff, and there's a natural course that takes place to where she delivers the baby, right? But the second she was pregnant, found out she's pregnant, she's seeing her, she became a mother, right? Now it didn't take the child coming out for her to be a mom, right? So there's ways you can have this vision of you accomplishing something bigger, whatever it is, 100 million followers on TikTok or whatever you want. Your desire is your desire. But in the meantime, be that dutiful mother and have faith that in due time the baby will be delivered in the real world, and what was fact in your mind will then become fact outside. But what can happen? Your wife finds out she's pregnant, and then the next morning she's like, where's the baby? Where's the baby? She starts stressing over it. All right? Another day goes by. Where's the baby? Where she starts pushing real hard. What is she risking? Miscarriage.
And that's what you're doing,
happens
basically.
when you try to use force instead of letting nature take its course, right? Because your vision, you know, all things are possible through God, right? All things. So it's in his time. Now, that doesn't, you know, it's not like she just sits there. She's doing things to take care of that baby, right? Yeah. She looks up, there's the diet. I'm not drinking anymore, right? I'm sleeping. I'm taking these vitamins. I'm reading books on what to expect when I'm expecting. She's becoming a mother before she held the baby, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like you have to, once you put it in those terms, you almost have to make it become instinctful. Like it becomes
that's what the whole saying, let go and let God. Right? We don't worry about the hows. How is it going to happen? Because we couldn't, when it happens, it's going to be so natural, so organic, so ordinary feeling that you forget, holy shit, that started up here. I created that. Right? You create it in your mind, you manifest it out in the real world. But it's already done.
Is that almost like Jesus take the wheel?
Well, I guess.
I mean, basically,
you just created an image in my head. But that's the tough part, because once your wife's pregnant, you know, there's that calm confidence. All right, there is a lag time. Nature has to take its course, and I'm not doing anything to fuck that up, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and say, push, I need the baby now, No. It's a healthy maturing.
And nurturing situations.
And then in the meantime, what happens? Her stomach's getting bigger. She's, you know, different. Her hormones are going nuts. There's physical changes that is cementing that reality that you're about to be a dad.
When does the woman start learning how to breathe? Like the, you know what I'm saying?
Lamaze.
Yeah. Hopefully at birth she learns how to breathe, because that would make life really tough.
Not the baby.
I think Lamaze, they start classes at second trimester. So
I don't know.
That'd be like. First trimester is 3 months.
You know what's amazing?
4 to 6.
So you learn that process along the way, but you're learning it for the day you give birth.
She's a mother right then, though. So much of it is instinctual.
Right.
Like how, you know, you've heard the mom arm in the car where they're like, that instinct, you know.
The mom seatbelt.
The women go through like a psychosis where they think, holy shit, the baby's drowning in the bathtub, run. That instinct, it's guttural, it's primal.
And that's what I was saying. That's like sometimes, in a way, we kind of have to do that for ourselves. It's like it becomes like if we want 3 million subscribers, we got to come in here instinctively and just do the.
So that's how you know you're on the right path, is when it is instinctual.
Yes.
You don't have to tell yourself, I need to do this or do that.
Like it's a given, you know, and then you hold yourself in that same mannerisms, like, okay,
you persist in that assumption until it's reality, right? But there's no question that it's reality, because you've seen it so vividly, and you have to be very intentional. Just like a woman that's pregnant has to be very intentional what she puts in her body, not to kill the baby, right? I'm not drinking, I'm not smoking, I'm not jumping on trampolines. All of those things, it's not that big of a stretch. It's not like she's having to use a bunch of willpower. Why? Because I don't want to kill the baby. I'm a mother now. Even though I'm not holding my baby, I'm already a mother. Mm-hmm. Our vision, what you can imagine in your mind, you've impregnated your imagination, and now you're just being dutiful until it manifests. And the more you can become that bigger self, the faster it happens. It could be instantaneous. The second, remember they say, take all the money from the rich, give it to the poor. What's going to happen?
The rich come back to be rich, and the poor.
Why? Because they know how to attract it. Mm-hmm. They know how to attract it. A zebra does not sit around and wonder why his stripes are black.
So you keep talking about vision, but just as far as like what a vision would be, like I don't envision a boat, a house, or anything. I envision being able to go to the bank, or being able to go, I don't know, like to a store or whatever, and no matter what that cost says, it's okay. That's like in my brain, that's the vision.
So we had to talk.
To not having to, like, do I have to check my phone to see how much I have before I pull it out, or can I pull it out?
cringing when they're like, okay, I went through.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we were talking to Philip Hutchins one time, and he's like, it's when I look at the menu, I don't even look at the right side of the
Looking
menu.
at the left side of the menu.
I only look at the left side to order.
So, yeah, those are the visions. It's not, okay, this boat with this motor, this whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but-
not. It's not crazy. But now for everyone,
It's knowing when
it's
you see
different
the one that you want, that's what you get.
because you already have it, right?
Yeah.
If you have you don't go to a gas station and fret over gum because you know in your head, I could have any. Any of these are mine,
Yeah.
right? It's just a simple. Here, let me give you some of this paper, and I'll take it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when
absolutely.
you embody that, so we're on those different levels. So if you don't like where you're at right now, right? It's like looking in the mirror and saying, "Fuck, I don't like the reflection." You're not going to take a sledgehammer and break the mirror. It's not the mirror's fault.
I heard some. I
Doesn't matter how
heard
many
something
new
today
mirrors you
about.
got. Right.
I heard something today about mirrors that kind of ties into what we're talking about. When you look in a mirror, you see two people. You see a hero and you see your enemy. And I was like, it kind of resonated because it's like, yeah, I want to be this person, but there's a part of me that, because I'm not actually saying it and living it, my enemy keeps me back from that, which is the same person.
Yeah.
So does that make sense?
I don't
Is that-
see an enemy, but I could see it's going down to it takes responsibility, right? 'Cause
Right.
If you admit, hey, you get in life not what you want, but what you are, that means if right now there's a lack or whatever, that means it's on me,
Yeah.
you know. But it's very empowering because you know, shit,
It's
there's
awesome.
no limit.
Yeah.
There's no limit. What rule is out there? You know, I believe God speaks to us through our desires. Right, that's how we can listen to God. Where else do those desires come from? Right now, assuming they're desires not to
Yeah.
murder your neighborhood or something
Yeah, those
like that.
desires, if you want to know if they're from God or not, the Bible tells you.
Yeah, but I mean, you can look to see if is this the golden rule: do unto others how you want to do unto you. So if your desire is doing to steal all your money, well, that's clearly not coming from God. But this is a crazy thought.
Okay.
Hitler. No, listen.
Now he says it's a crazy thought.
Hitler used the same creative force, the same creative power of his imagination as Mother Teresa.
But yeah, that's what actually, I think Jordan Peterson and, was it Brett Weinstein, who got into an argument, and the argument was, like, was Hitler... Oh, God, this is a tough one. So the argument was...
Chris said yes. Go
Yeah, so like when we think of Satan, we think of, you know, devil, horns, we think of that.
Ex-wife. I mean,
Satan talks to you in your own voice.
What'd you say, Billy?
what?
Just a friendly reminder. Sorry.
A friendly reminder.
That was a good pun.
Friendly Mark. That's good.
Anyways,
Damn it.
so the people who have done the worst in the world came because they thought they were doing good. Not saying what they were doing was good. In their head, they thought they were doing
They
good.
got a message
that's-
from
yeah.
God. Yes.
That Messiah complex or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that, and it's the argument of, well, how can you even identify what it is leading up to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like Hitler leading up to it, I mean, there were a lot of people who rallied behind him, you know?
There's a
Not
lot-
saying that's
a
good.
lot of
We
Billies-
have to throw
a lot of
disclaimers
Billies
on
in-
that.
A lot of Billy's in line that was like, you know what? You're making a lot of sense.
You're making good comments there.
but yeah. So
Yeah, it's that idea that where it came from, even though it was incredibly evil, in his head, he thought he was doing good.
God, is that clean?
Right?
it's a
So he created something really bad.
But his creation,
Yeah.
so I think the Bible talks about it's unlimited in expansion.
Right.
And it's going to be limited in contraction. Well, obviously, what Hitler was trying to do was contract. He was trying to wipe out an entire race. That's contraction. It was only a matter of time before the collective imagination or the collective will of everyone else. They saw a much bigger world than that, a much better, more ideal world than that, that it was just a matter of time, you know? But too often we hear of these people that are trying to change the world. That's the same people that don't like the reflection that they're getting, and they are on a mission to change mirrors for everyone.
Well, they're trying to change,
not change themselves, but change all.
Yeah, they're trying to change the world, not their world.
Right.
You know,
when you change yourself, and we talked about this before the show, the world takes on a whole. You're like, man, this is a great place. This
it's like different
world
sunglasses.
Is my playground.
Yeah.
You know, same world. We're living in this same world according to our senses, what we can touch. But it's different. Yeah, what do they say? The bum at the gas station and Warren Buffett both have money problems. Which money problems do you want? You know? But yeah, when you change yourself, the world immediately bends to your will because your mind starts to bring different things into focus. It starts to confirm the fact that you've agreed upon in your head. This is what it is. And it does actually two things. It helps you make peace with your past because you see, look, you're rising levels, right? So we talked to Chris Bryan a couple of years ago, and now a couple of weeks ago, he's a leader now, and he's seeing how he's able to lead men. He couldn't have gotten there without his journey, without that upbringing. So now all of a sudden, it's not just, hey, be okay with your past, forgive. It's like, no, you're actually grateful for it. Because for the first time you realize, fuck, life is happening for me, not to me. And when you see that, that's when, that's some serious, like we're in the Matrix, Inception right now. But that's the way it is. If you think of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all these guys who are able to see shit that wasn't anywhere. Think about it right now. The biggest cab company in the world has no cars. The biggest hotel company doesn't have any real estate. The biggest bookstore doesn't have a single book. Doesn't have a single bookstore, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. That took vision, right? If I'm limiting what I can imagine to what I can see right now, there's no innovation. There's never a 2.0.
Yeah, and we had talked about that, and it all starts with the imagination.
And persisting in that assumption until it is reality.
I told you this before when we were on the phone before we started recording. Houdini said, my mind is the key that sets my mind free.
My imagination.
My imagination is the key that sets my mind free, and that's true because you see something.
We think it dies after we grow up, like we stop imagining.
Yeah.
But we just replace the toys.
Yeah.
It's
the belief in what you're imagining. Like, I know growing up, I guess maybe since I was the youngest and there were a bunch of people in front of me, I never really had the imagination of, like, this toy could fly. You know what I mean? But I remember watching my cousin, and he would have, like, these toys out. I could watch him because he imagined so hard that I started to believe. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, this thing can fly. This does whatever. His belief in that is what did it. Yeah. I didn't have that belief. So I'm like, no, this is a plastic toy that you can throw out at any time. Yeah. In his head, that was a superhero who conquered something over there. So I could watch him play with it and not me. Is that,
no,
you get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's that belief in it, that he thought that's what he was.
And that's what faith is. It's belief in things unseen. Right? That takes faith. Because I don't have faith in this table. It's a fact. It's right here. You're right? But if that's how I'm basing what I have faith in, then I'm never going to advance. I'm never going to do anything better than what I have right now because I can't see past what I have right now.
Yeah. So your faith is you want to be a multimillionaire influencer.
Whatever your desire is.
Well, we're not saying that he didn't.
But this is
I'm saying he's not already.
This is why the Bible is very mechanical. It talks a lot about it's very like physics. This is why it says when you're praying, go in a small room and lock the door. Because the second our cousin started trying to explain, all of a sudden it's like, wait, I'm going from this four-dimensional world, using my sixth sense where I'm envisioning this stuff, and now explaining it to you, and you're just like, man, it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Dude, the earth is not flat.
That's the same thing that
you're just lifting it.
Yeah, I know you believe it, but
that's the same thing that's going to happen if I walk around saying, yeah, we got 3 million subscribers. I'm a YouTube influencer with 3 million subscribers. People are going to be like, dude, I can see the number.
I can see
right
your
here.
count.
Do you not Like Common Core was not like helpful.
It's all the algorithm, man. If we just have more exposure, you know, I say we.
So with that being said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, I mean,
right there.
So I mean, yeah. What did Walter Payton say? If you're good, you'll tell people. If you're great, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
So it's keep your mouth shut. Embody what you want people to see you as, and they will attract to you.
That's what. So Kamaru Usman just won. What was it? He is a welterweight. So 170.
UFC.
Yeah, so he just won, and they were talking about, you know, the discussion of the greatest of all time. He said, I don't look at that, because he looked on it early in his career, and he had a setback. He said, I'll do what I do, and y'all will discuss. Well, he said, that's up to y'all.
That's up to the commentators. I'm the man in the arena.
But he goes out and knows he's going to win every single time. You know, now granted, that's fighting, and anything can happen, but he has proved it over and over again. Mm-hmm. You know? So that discussion he lets other people do, but in his head, he definitely thinks he's the greatest of all time.
He's not considered crazy by other people for saying that because he has
validation.
Now they're talking about it.
Yes. Yeah. But starting out, he had to have that at least glimmer of hope. Why else would you get into a ring and risk getting killed?
Literally the worst.
Unless you thought, I'm going to whoop this dude's ass. Mm-hmm. I'm in control.
What did Dana White say? Everybody wants to beat someone's ass. Nobody.
That's what Joe Rogan said.
Joe Rogan said, he said nobody wants to get into a fight. Everybody just wants to beat someone's ass.
Or I said nobody wants to learn how to fight.
Yeah.
They just want to whoop somebody's ass. Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that, if you're it goes from, is the world happening to me or happening for me? Mm-hmm. A lot of times we're just drifting. And the problem with drifting is sometimes the wind's at your back and you think, holy shit, I've got it figured out. But you know, if you had to copy and paste that, impossible. Can you guys think in your life where, you know, the hard part is when it manifests in the real world, we think, oh yeah, of course. That's why that happened. It was totally normal. I can trace it because I got up earlier and I made those calls. And it's like, did you ever wonder why all of a sudden you started doing that shit effortlessly? And it came to be, you know?
What the proof was in the pudding kind of deal.
You know? Yeah, but it just like, why then did it happen and it didn't happen ever? Well, because you decided to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you decided to do it because you changed how you looked at yourself. You didn't just say, I'm going to do this. You said, oh, this is what I do.
Yeah, that's true.
It just becomes part of your daily routine.
It's who you are. The zebra doesn't ask why it's not even black.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I got to pee 8 times a day.
You might want to get that looked into.
Average
Literally into. That's, I think they got to stick
an average person pees 8 times a day.
Frequent urination?
Yeah.
It's an issue.
But yeah, I mean, let's stay focused. Like, I'm the one with ADHD. What the hell?
Not the only.
But yeah, it gives you motivation, but it gives you that calm confidence. It's a different vibe than the Amway.
And that's why it's different than the faking until you make it. Because when you're faking it, it's always a lie. You know?
But
so the calm confidence doesn't come from being fake. You know? That's not saying you can't change your opinion on stuff. You can't be swayed to do something else. It's just that what you're doing at the time is who you are. You know? So that's why the whole faking it till you make it, I've never really... I've tried it.
I think that's something that people observing would put it. Like, he faked it till he made it. Because I can only see with my physical eyes what Billy's doing right now. Billy's not. He's persisting till he makes it. But on the outside looking in, you're like, yeah, it's fake it till you make it. You know, and it rhymes. But that's
rhyming's cool.
The problem is if you tell yourself, I'm going to fake it till I make it. I can do it.
We're going to keep faking.
If I just want it really hard, I really want it. Have you ever picked up a chick by saying, oh, my baby, I want you so bad? They're going to be like, cringe. Like, get that.
You just got to pay for those, man.
So, like, let's say somebody's watching right now. They want to attract more women, right? I suck with women. You know, there's people that they got it when it comes to making money, but when it comes to women, we call it the beta billionaires, right? How could we do this? What would that be like in their head?
So what
for women?
For men, what I see is they have a certain type of woman that they want. they want to
But
attract
men picking
and
up
get-
women.
Many of them, yes.
Many- Yeah, and now they have that vision of they want many women. Now they have to start walking that way, walking like the guy that can go grab them, talking like that guy, that having the confidence like that guy that can go get all those women.
Sure, that's a whole nother video.
So so all you would do, you're literally you're envisioning
And
yourself.
I think that's a video we've already talked about. If you want to
envision yourself as whatever. If your goal is I want to have 20 girls in rotation, whatever, right? As long as you're upfront about it. Well, first of all, you do that and then you work your way backwards. If that were true, how would I behave? You're going to behave like you have options, right? You're not going to not going to be like, no, don't leave. No, if just pretend it's undercover boss kind of deal. Like you're an undercover baller. Don't announce it. Someone with 20 girls in a rotation doesn't announce it. And the ones that do are full of shit. So you don't announce it, and you.
Why'd you look at me right
then?
I don't announce it.
Most people think I have to wait till I have 20 girls in rotation to start acting like I do, and it's like, no.
Just act. I mean,
You
like
have
you said,
to embody it, and it comes. You get what you are, not what you want.
and we're not saying to be an a-hole, but we're just saying you have to kind of,
You will be called one every now and then.
Yeah, well,
but it is what it is.
but
You should
just-
apologize.
and not just to women, but just.
Oh, here come the disclaimers. God bless.
This
No,
might sound so
no, I'm not saying-
Hitler.
I'm not, it does. It's not just.
Billy is so afraid women are going to find out he's got 20 girls
No,
in rotation right now.
It's not. Hear me out. It's not just women. It's in your business. It's in your goals. You
It's in
have
everything.
to. You have to like envision that and go for it.
You have to and just it's because then your vibration, your aura, whatever. How many people have said to you, like, Chris, man, when you walk in, it's just something different about you. Like you carry yourself differently from everyone else.
Yeah, 'cause, like when we had that conversation the other day.
Yeah.
About when we all went to Taps and those girls wanted to come up and. There were girls there. We talked to them afterwards.
Okay.
I didn't.
They came up. They were like, "We wanted to talk to you, but you just seem like you're."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember
I know
that
what you're
night at Taps? I'm like, well, we were the same people. And Matt pointed out to me, it's like, because you pushed yourself, you were the different person by the way your aura was.
And you were with us, and that's how we carried ourselves.
And that's the only reason why, Billy.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's why we talk so much about who you surround yourself with, right?
Yeah.
That's why you surround yourself with people that you aspire to be like, because you're going to try to assimilate to be in that group. And if that's a group of high achievers, they're not going to let a buzzard hang around them.
Yeah, well, here's a little callback from earlier in the episode was the whole idea of getting up early and doing that. That's because I saw all my buddies were doing that.
It's like a shortcut to success.
Like I'm like, well,
that's a
shit,
step I can take
they're not getting a
day
head
one.
start on me.
That's a step I can take right
It's
now.
almost like a competition in a way.
It's definitely compete with people either who are either doing what you want to do, they're in the same lane, they're doing whatever, but it's just like, fortunately for me, it's my friends.
Yeah.
It's people that I get that I'm going to interact with regardless.
Success leaves clues.
Say that again?
Success leaves clues. So if there's 10 people I want to aspire to be like, and they all agree on one thing, there are infinite ways to success. Like you're got to find your journey, like yours, because the other ones aren't right for you, right? Everything in this room made somebody rich, somebody like fabulously successful. We give too much credit to the thing, the how to do it,
Not the idea.
not the embodying it, and the hows just take care of themselves. You get around success, they just have that optimism. It's not even a question of this is going to work out. And they don't. If you try to talk to them about the hows, they're like, dude, whatever, dude, like that. The hows will figure it out. They don't say it like that, but that's kind of what they're saying.
Yeah, one of them told me, like, I can't wait till y'all figure it out. Didn't tell us what that even meant, but just can't wait till you figure it out. And that kind of let us all believe we all had to figure it out for ourselves.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's not one thing he could say, even though we were doing where we were hanging out, that person kind of just watching the game or whatever. He just he's like, can't wait till y'all boys figure it out.
Because he can't figure it out for you.
No, and he already figured it out.
Yeah, and
now we're talking in code.
Well, and his figuring out was his way of figuring out.
Mm-hmm. I think I just figured out what you were saying.
Yeah,
figuring out.
I think we just figured it all out.
That's the mark of somebody that said, "Hey, man, for a while I was trying everything that I was reading every how-to book, and then suddenly I just said, F it, I'm gonna be successful. I am successful no matter what." And then just making that damn decision, it just works out.
Mm-hmm. And daggone it, people like you.
And people will write books about Chris's closing strategy. He did this and he blah, blah, blah. They're focused on the hows. Mm-hmm. And they're not focused on, like, what happened in his mind. Yeah. It didn't matter. That was just, hey, it was organic. You were in flow. You weren't thinking, okay, step one, let me gain rapport. Yeah. Step two, tell me about what keeps you up at night. Okay, step three, even though that could be what you did, you said, hey, look, the success is assured. Mm-hmm. Let me just relax, enjoy it, because it's already mine.
Well, if you want to tie it to closing, any interaction that I've had where I'm helping somebody out, and it's always helping, is I assume at the end of what it is, that we are going to do some kind of either business or whatever it is together. Because early on, you told me something, Matt, and you might have forgot about it.
I forget nothing.
I do not claim this.
Wait, what were we talking about?
I said I forget nothing.
Yeah.
So hopefully it was good.
So, but it was, at the end of the day, if you don't close, there's no way you can actually help.
Yeah.
That closing is the act of helping them do what they need to do.
If you're convinced your solution is can help them, whatever solution that comes up with, if you didn't close them and they didn't sign, you just had a nice conversation.
Yeah. Fortunately, I've never been able to sell shit and say it was roses. Now I could sell shit as long as the people who were buying it knew they were buying shit.
Which is great for your yard. Yeah.
And we can censor. I could sell crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was. But I could never sell something that wasn't what I was saying it was.
How many times we said that, like, holy shit, if we could make so much money in the short term if we were scumbags.
Yeah. I just can't sleep at night doing that.
If you just learn a little bit about something,
and that's not like being self-righteous. That's just like, I don't want to do business with people who are selling me shit when I think it's something else either.
I got to sleep at night.
Yeah. So it was that idea of like, and I've been in sales organizations that they tell you to sell it a certain way, and you're like, why? Like, the thing sells itself. Why are we doing it this way? They're
so focused on hows, right?
Yes.
And their hows.
Of how someone else did it.
Which probably worked for someone, and when you're trying to duplicate, great. Mm-hmm. If you don't start within here and tell them why they're doing this, the hows, the first detour, the first roadblock or whatever, it's like, why am I even doing this? Mm-hmm. Like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. All the power was in the how. And when that loses that, you're like, oh no, now I'm not valuable anymore because that's gone. It's like that with football. Football's gone. It's like, shit, what do I have to offer now?
Yeah, and that's even with this business, with what we do now. And don't want to get into, I don't know how detailed we want to get, but when I realized it did not matter what I was selling, as long as I was doing it, it could be whatever item, whatever bundle, whatever it is. Business is business across the board. So I get good at business. It can be with Medicare. It can be with, cars down the road. Yep. It could be, whatever. Because it didn't matter. It didn't matter what. It didn't matter how.
We talked about that with Josh. With him selling cars, he could transfer that mannerism and that mentality.
I
mean, he would be second place if he did insurance, but
yeah, no, you're right. It's because you're actually you have your confidence is in yourself to do this, and that's the only constant, right? Mm-hmm. If my success determines on you showing up every day, I'm giving you way too much damn power, and vice versa.
Right.
If my success to work out depends on a workout partner,
as Travis just like, what did I do?
Unless that you is a Siamese twin or conjoined twin, you are the only one that's guaranteed to show up wherever you are at all times. Mm-hmm. Decide that, And what'll happen is someone else who's decided that for themselves sees the trajectory you're on and it's like, let's butt up. A friendship formed from business is a lot better than a business formed out of friendship.
Ooh. Say that one more time.
So a friendship that is formed because of business is much better than a business formed out of friendship.
Yeah, it's kind of like the saying, like you don't go into business with your friends.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You become friends with who you go into business with.
Yeah.
Oh, with that being said,
damn,
that's the last episode of Magician.
And that is the title of this episode.
That's right. But now let's wrap this up.
Yeah, guys, it's been good.
Yeah, man.
It's been fun.
We just scratched the surface. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot to do, a lot to go,
Lot to be.
lot to be.
That's the reality.
Chris, thanks for joining us on this episode. You had fun, right?
Young Jock, welcome
Yeah,
back.
He got it in.
Don't call it a comeback.
He's been here for a
couple minutes. But if you're still hanging out, guys, we appreciate it.
Yeah, do us a big favor. Hit that subscribe button.
Smash the like button.
Guys, leave us a comment down below, and we will see you on the next video.
Peace.